Good morning, everyone who's just joining. We are streaming live on YouTube. We have folks in the Gampa on site. It's very exciting times at Kadampa Center.
Linda, while we're waiting, I just want to say that yesterday we had 20 volunteers come to work on the Kadampa Center grounds.
That's fantastic.
Outstanding job. They got all the mulching done and trimming and removing the sandbox and cleaning leaves. It was amazing.
That is amazing.
Volunteers. And it was so nice for everyone together.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Elise. Geshe Gelling has just arrived.
Please have a seat. Oh yeah, good morning. Alhamdulillah. Prayer, yeah.
So let's begin with chanting Shakyamuni Buddha's mantra 3 times. Te ata mune mune maha munai soha. Te ata mone mone maha munai soha. Te ata mone mone maha munai soha. Okay, now a verse of praise and mantra for Medicine Buddha. Te ata bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Te ata bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Te ata bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Te ata bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Te ata bekanze bekanze maha bekanze bekanze raja samugate soha. Jayata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rasa Samugate Soha Jayata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Bekanze Rasa Samugate Soha. Now the four immeasurables. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. May all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from attachment for friends and hatred for enemies. And the verse of praise and mantra for Chenrezig, the Buddha of Great Compassion. Not veiled by any fault, white in color, whose head a perfect Buddha crowns in light, gazing compassionately at all beings. To you, Chenrezig, I'll sing one I prostrate. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Oh, the verse of praise and mantra for Green Tara. Tare liberates from cyclic existence. Tutare liberates from all fears. Tude liberates from all sickness. I prostrate to the liberator, Mother Tara. Om tare tu re so ha. 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 Om tare tu re so ha.
Sanje choda soje chonam la chancho pardon dane dage chuje jebe sunam je ando la peje sanje ando ma sho Sanje choda soje chonam la chancho pardon dane dage chuje jebe sunam je ando la peje sanje Sanje chodan soje chonam la chancho pardon dane jamsane dage chushin jebe sanam dola penje sanje ndo mala tata lame mena miya ji ombo da jaje la so chushin chonda chawa chawa Sanjaya Sura Radu Shishi Devi Juju Dendava Shishi Tambe Shishi Nende Shishi Namal Hai Kedan Luda Nijingi Tikonda Da Mi Kenan Da Andwa Kunya Nanan Jaza Tamje Kedo Dagi Chu Te Ando Hange Tuze Nyesu Ne Tawa Tamje Pambe Tambe Shishi Dende Pambe Tam Tama Chao Good morning, Venerable Hamullah. Good morning, Venerable Kelsang. Good morning, Venerable Kando. Good morning, Venerable Tenzilamo. Thank you very much for your card. Thank you. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Katina Smith. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Patricia, Patagonia. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning, good morning, Neely. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Domasi. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Nico. Good morning, I'm not sure. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Felix. Good morning, Carolina Comments. Both of you, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Watkin. Good morning, David. Good morning, CJ, John. Good morning, William. Good morning, Elise. Good morning, Kadamba Center. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Emily. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Marcelo, Fernanda, Patagonia. Good morning, David. Good morning, Tara. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, anybody watching on YouTube. Good morning. Welcome back to Sunday Dharma. Sunday Dharma. Linda,
Yes.
any questions?
Yes, there are some questions. There's several. So would you like me to read them all or just pick one for you?
One by one, please.
Okay. First one is, what is the ground upon which thoughts arise?
Which is the ground? Cannot hear Linda.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What is the ground upon which thoughts arise? So I'm interpreting that as where do thoughts arise?
Then the next one.
And then the next one is very long. There's like several questions to this question. Are you ready?
Yes, I guess so.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm going to put it in the chat as well so that everyone can see. So hold on 1 second. Okay. If we accept that dependent arising necessitates that suffering is independent on enlightenment, and that the first and second noble truths inform the path, the third and fourth noble truth, even if it takes eons and eons, when all sentient beings attain Dharmakaya and the complete and total cessation of suffering, what comes next? So that was one part. Do you want me to keep going?
Let's go. The first one. So, according to Master Chandakriti, one of the hard disciple of Nagarjuna, Master Nagarjuna, who composed this text, a wonderful text, one of the best texts about Shunyata called like entering into the middle way. In Madhya Manga Avatara, entering into the middle way. In that text, after the homage, not very far after the homage, Chandrakiri says, like Tambu Ngashe Dala Shenju Chis. In the very beginnings, so you become attached to the idea of self right from the beginning. So then you become attached to the idea or notion of self, or self itself, you become attached. So so based on that, that's the probably basis of all the thought that rise. That's the foundations that why all the thought arise. Then from there, dagi, dishe, tambu ngashe, dala, shenchuchis, right from the beginnings, that you kind of like hold, you become, you become attached to self. So that is the fact, nothing to do with the religions, that's the fact. Then from there, dagi, dishe, so then my. So then goes on, my idea, my status, my positions, my wealth, my title, my country. So this goes on and on and on. So that's the basis, I think, in my opinion, that's the basis or foundations of the thought. Every thought that rise, these are the foundations why thought rise. So then, of course, not every thought that rise based on that is negative. There's many of them are neutral, and many of them could be positive if we put some, like I say, if you become more mindful, that amount of thought that rise from based on that could be positive, very much based on based on what's the best for you, for everyone else around you, so what's the best? What is the best? Of course, not the jealousy, of course, not the anger, of course, not the disrespect, of course, not hatred, pride, arrogance. These are all, is not the best for everybody, So therefore, this is considered as an unhealthy thought. So that we need to challenge them through meditations, through learning, reflecting, integrating. That's the way to challenge those unhealthy thoughts, which are not best for everybody, including yourself. So in order to challenge them, it requires serious thinking. Not like once a while here, there. It requires serious thinking and being consistent with this serious thinking, totally rooted in reason, understood based on knowledge. So, knowledge, contemplating, integrations, that's how you overcome from those types of thought that's not best for anybody, including yourself. So then that you could call that meditation, you could call that like spiritual practice, religion, whatever you might need to call. So basically we are all trying to live a life with less unhealthy thought. then your life will be much, much better off. While you are alive, you get immense benefit. When this life finishes and that benefit continues, many more life. So there's something that you are equipped to do and you are fully capable to do. So of course it require efforts, some effort to put, and that needs to be consistent with that effort, So why we lose, not because we are lacking skill, no. We have, not because we are lacking potentials, not because we are lacking abilities, because we are kind of like losing our mindfulness. That's why we lose time and time again here and there, because we are not train ourselves to be mindful, not because we don't have skill. We do have skill, because our lives not equipped. Our lives fully equipped with that. But the only thing that's lacking is like, so when there's challenge between very skilled swordman and very skilled archers. Of course, the archer, what they do, they shoot an arrow. They choose target, then they aim to target and shoot. Their whole goal is to hit the target. That's exactly the unhealthy thought. It's like skilled archer. They are like targets to destroy it, anybody's happiness, including yourself. So then you are like, we are skilled swordman, sword person. How is the skill sword?
Swordsman.
Doesn't have to be man, but probably I'm not sure why we say swordman, but skilled sword beings, human beings. So every arrow comes to us out, we can stop them. Once a while, arrow hits. Similar is same as like we fell. Why? Not because we are lacking skill, because we are distracted. Second, if you get distracted, 1 second, that archer is like very skillful archer. It will probably never miss the target. It will hit you, not because you are lacking skill, because what is lacking is mindfulness. So that's why you can, can space out. We have to be mindful, much as possible. So there's the way to challenge. It's like you are hit by arrow. It's not this is not the problem with the sword there. You are very sword there. You're holding to stop the arrow. It's not the fault of sword. It's not because you are hit because of your skill. No, because you are hit because you are not being mindful. That's why you are hit, not because of your incapable. How is it incapable? Uncapable or incapable?
Incapable.
Yeah, it's not because if you are incapable, you are lacking skill. No, because you are being distracted. That's why you are hit by arrow. So like that. So I think that's the foundations that every thought, positive, negative, neutral, rise based on holding so tightly on the self. So then okay. So now the second one, so if anybody wants to contribute, so you are welcome to contribute. Maybe you may have better answer. So the second one, can you repeat the second one again?
Sure. Okay. If we accept that dependent arising necessitates that suffering is Sorry, there's some background noise. Okay, I'll start over. If we accept that dependent arising necessitates that suffering is interdependent on enlightenment, and that the first and second noble truths inform the path, the third and fourth noble truths, even if it takes eons and eons when all sentient beings attain Dharmakaya and the complete and total cessation of suffering, what comes next? And then the student goes on to ask, does samsara cease to exist conventionally or ultimately? Is the existence of samsara necessary for nirvana to exist? Will enlightened beings continue to exist conventionally or ultimately?
Time to go to monastery debate courtyard. It's the time to go to monastery courtyard, debate courtyard. So there's so much there. So very good question, but I think time to go to monastery debate courtyard. Now the virus situation is coming down, now they're opening up. So the Shakyamuni Buddhas is the Buddha number 4 who came to our world. There will be like 1002 Buddha will descend, how is it descend on our earth, and 1002. So then probably somehow probably everybody will be free from samsara. That's long time. The last part of the question is more complicated. What is next? What is next? Will samsara conventionally cease to exist? So that lot of debate, so complicated debate. So I think probably neither side will win. So that means debate will continue till the convention of samsara exists to cease. So that's kind of like latter part of the question is more complicated. So in terms of universal compassion, bodhicitta, because of those mental qualities, and it makes more complicated how you define universal compassion, how you define bodhicitta, and then ceasing existence of samsara become the subject of big debate. So I'm not going to say yes or no, I'm just going to live like that. So then you are welcome to join monastery debate courtyard. So I will provide you board and room, so you can go there, spend maybe months. So that's kind of very good question, but I don't think it's not that easy to answer. So some kind of common agreement will come into the debate, but in order to reach there, then you need to go to a lot of debate, Q&A, a lot of Q&A, not just few, a lot of Q&A. So, yeah, that's all I can say. So maybe moving on.
So the next question, Geshe-la, is how does Buddhism view therapy or counseling for those who may be suffering or dealing with delusional or disturbing thought?
I think it's necessary. It's necessary. It's not like big part of the Asian culture. not used to be part of Asian culture, so now probably in Asian countries, they also have like therapies now. Like, I don't think the therapy can make any money in my hometown, but nobody goes to therapies. And in the monastery, like, like expressing your emotion is not very much, how you say, encourage that part of the world. So you just learn how to deal with that. Without, I say, of course, experiencing probably, we are all human at the end. Asians, Westerners, Asian, we are all human. We have body that, kind of complicate body, so like comes with all kind of complications. And we have emotions, same like, but in Asian culture, it's not encouraged to express your emotions. So a lot of people, either they like, you just deal with that much the best as you could. Physically, you look around, everybody's living pretty much same life, so like everybody has pretty much not exactly the same, but same kind of types of house, same types of job they're, doing. That people don't have this strong sense of competition because there's really nothing much to compete. Not nowadays. I'm talking about my hometown. There's a lot of physical challenge, but you are not the only one. Everybody's going through that. Everybody going into the jungle to get the wood. Not you are the only one who's carrying like 50 kilos of, not 50 kilos, like probably, so like 20, 30 kilos of wood on your head with the basket, like bamboo basket, like a few miles when you are like 12, 13. That's you do, like everybody does in the village. So it's not a unique thing. So I think like in the West, I think therapy is necessary. It kind of helps people, people, like I think like one thing that I can say is like, but in general speaking, that expressing emotion is not very much encouraged, but doesn't mean there's no benefit. Of course, there's a benefit. Why I'm saying there's benefit, because a long time ago in Tibet, there's one king, kind of like not very kind king that ruled Tibet, certain period in Tibetan history, and basically destroying Buddha Dharma in Tibet. And according to the oral stories that people tell, that king has some kind of home in his head. That's why he never like takes, he always have like something to wear. One lady probably saw that home and so terrified to tell anybody, so terrified, cause some kind of like, sickness, like, of course, there's some kind of negative impact on the physical body, that's holding something. So then probably went to see some Lama to have some consultations with Lamas. The Lama said that you're hiding something that you need to say. So if you cannot say to the people, if you're so terrified to tell people, just go into the wood and like, if you find like some like old bamboo, so then shout it there, just imagine that you're telling everybody whatever it is. And but she went there, so she said, okay, our king has home. Then she said it very loudly. After that, she kind of like healed. So that kind of suggests like expressing your emotions does help. And similarly, the example they use is like the corn shell. Corn shell. When the corn shell doesn't blow very well, what it indicates? It indicates there's something stuck inside. That's considered as a disease of the corn shell because you can't blow it well. It doesn't make good noise. You can't blow it because something stuck. So that can be only eliminated by blowing hard. If you blow it hard, then it gets out, then it makes good noise. So all this kind of indicate expressing. That's what you do. Therapy, psychologist, you go there, you talk, So then I myself, not for my own, issues, but some of my friends in Switzerland, so they are therapists, like they, what is it called, the name of the, Neely, what is it called, the book, the very famous book, what is it called?
Are you talking about Carl Jung, Geshe-la?
Yeah, Carl Jung. So that, so there's few of my friends, they're very deep into that whole psychology things practice. So they have also see clients, they themselves also go to the another therapist to tell everything, not tell not with a name, but tell all the experience they receive talking to their client. So they go to other therapists, so then tell their dreams, all of that. It didn't work very well with me, but the person that I'm staying, one of my important student, one of my teachers who passed away in Switzerland, she's also a medical doctor, heart surgeon. She operates people's heart, and she got very sick up there, so she became therapist, a psychologist. So then so I went with her 2 times just to listen, just to see what's happening. It's very foreign to us because we don't have that. So then at that time, sorry to say, at that time I thought I'm not going to pay 1 penny to go there because I don't see any. So then, then she's always asking me dreams. She's like, do you have any dreams? I said, I thought also the Carl Jung is all about, there's a lot of part of the book is about dreams. And then I tell her my dreams. So then she brings this play doh. And she give it to me. I never saw a play doh. No, she give it to me. So then she said, make something. I have no idea, make what? I never made one. She said, make anything. So I make some figure meditating like this, all kind of tightened up. So then there's probably hour-long explanations about the very figures that I made. Oh yeah, so it kind of makes you, I'm not sure, it doesn't help me at all. So, and then after that, she said dreams. So I said, I don't have dreams. So then I I stopped telling my dream because there's too much information for me, too much information. Then I said, no dreams. So like that, so there's some of my friends, they do color therapy. They have all kind of colors on their shelf. Somehow client comes, I'm not sure how they treat them. So I think it's necessary. It's necessary. It's helpful. It's helping people. So bottom line, you need to say. I would say. Then when you go to therapy, you say. So then for me, I don't have any experience. So then plus getting so much information for me personally is not good. So I usually don't like that. So that's my experience, based on my experience. I think it's necessary. It's beneficial. What else?
Those are the only questions we have today, Geshe-la. So if anyone has a question, feel free to put it in the chat, or Geshe-la, you can continue with.
Very, very good questions. I think very good questions. So, we have time. So, I think also good to read, Lama Yeshe wrote this book. I think at the center is kind of freely distributed. What's called Becoming Your Own Therapist. That also says if you if you have some form of daily practice, could be mantra recitation, could be meditations, could be review meditation, could be analytical meditation, could be concentration meditations. So then these are the probably ways to become your own therapy. And of course, like every human has issues. We all have every day. So then sometimes our expectation is very unrealistic. So we want to be happy all the time, but we don't. All the method that we use for that cause is like not always the right one. Probably instead of like, because we are all hoping to satisfaction life, and based on that, and we each and every person do different things to, to accomplish that satisfaction. Not realizing how one can achieve contentment, satisfactions, and continuously using the same method, and maybe sometimes change method, different method, but pretty much doing the same things, so not realizing is not working, like unrealistic expectations. I think every answer is clearly like laid down very precisely in Lamrim teaching, step by step. It's not like there's no answer, there's answer, but not easy to implement, It's harder to convince ourselves this method will work, even though it doesn't seem like it will work, it will work, but somehow we are all having a hard time to pursue that method, to become consistent with that method. And then of course that all habit takes over. So the bottom line, so then I oftenly the song, the Rolling Stone, pretty much same thing, Rolling Stone. It's very important to remind ourselves, if it's possible, every day. I think it's important. Not because sake of religion, sake of your own happiness. It's very important to remind ourselves, verbally, mentally, remind ourselves, Chebe Mingum. Che means like doing things. Doesn't mean don't do. Of course you can do. Of course that you have beautiful park to walk. Of course you should walk. You have nice museum to go look at. Of course you go look. But in the same time, it's very, very important for the sake of your own happiness. Very important to, including Kishgele, very important to understand that is the not way to reach satisfactions. Keeping that in your mind, that's very important to remember. Chebe Mingum. Chebe Mingum. Not being content what we have, looking for more doesn't guarantee satisfactions. Are we clear about that? Do you understand that very clearly? If not, we need to rethink. Lama Tsongkhapa said it very clearly. Chebe Mingum Dunga Kunchiko. Not just that, doing more things doesn't guarantee satisfaction. Top of that, it's not just that. Top of that, it creates the door to more complications. Is that true? Chebe Mingum Dunga Kunchiko. Chebe Mingum. That's the sentence from the foundation of all the good quality. Chebe Mingum Dunga Kunchiko. Having a house doesn't guarantee satisfactions. Having a car doesn't guarantee satisfactions. But yeah, do humans ever wonder about that? Having a house guarantees satisfaction? Yes, not just one. There are many. There are many out there. They believe if you get a house that you know. Having a cat doesn't guarantee satisfactions. No, it comes with the complications. You probably have experience, I've experienced. Oh. So it's very important right from the beginning, if you're aware, right from the beginning, you're aware that it doesn't become shock. You know, so that every word in the Foundation of Good Qualities is designed to help us how to think realistically, how to think realistically, become more practical, and it's not sake of religion, it's not sake of spiritual practice, it's sake of your own happiness, that's all. Oh, so then you like the that's very important. So I like repeat this word whenever I do review meditation. I repeat this word, the very word I repeat. You know, sometimes you just mumble the word, but you are completely thinking of something else. Meanwhile, you already said that word. It's just word, mere word. It has no substance. So therefore, I repeat. Then I look around. Yeah, many things that you see in the house. Before you are getting them, then you believe it brings kind of I'm not sure, do we think that when we are getting something, do we think that it will bring everlasting happiness? I don't think so. I don't think. But anyway, so, people do get things, new things here, there. So then, I said this word, then I look around. So all kind of thoughts involved in every object. Maybe fear of losing them, fear of not wanting to change them. It will change. Some point it will disappear. Some point it will break down. Somebody will knock down. Something will happen, break down. These are all being practical. It's like impermanent. Things change, people die, like weather change. But that thought is not there all the time. So that's what I'm saying, that we need to remind ourselves every day. When we talk, we remember, it makes sense, but it's not there all the time. It's not there all the time. Particularly, especially when something breaks down, it's not there at all. There's some other kind of thought is very much alive. That this kind of thought, being aware of impermanence, is not there. So that's why that's why it opened the door for more complications. Blame someone, why you do this, why you break this, why you didn't put it here, why you're not careful, goes on and on. Meanwhile, your life will become more miserable. That it can stop. You can stop. You are fully capable to stop. Just see the fact. It's not like that we put everything, this is like, you put all your life in this one object, then something happened to that object, and your life is all messed up. So that's not really, I think, smart thing to do. No. In the end, we are all looking for whatever you call happiness, whatever you call. At the same time, we need to be aware. So that's very important. It really helps. If you repeat the word, then it has some substance. Then that kind of like change your thinking. So then your tried grip on certain object will loosen up. What that means? That means you are freeing yourself. You are freeing yourself. You are freeing yourself. You are making yourself less vulnerable. If something happened, the very cup that you very much like, that you use, when it breaks, somebody just knocked down, it breaks. Your grip on that cup is not that tight. Used to be so tight. Over time, your thinking, meditations, reminding yourself that grip is getting loosened up. The tighter the grip is, more vulnerable you become. Losing the grip, so that you free yourself. You become free. You become free. Oh, so that's why, otherwise, every day there's risk. Every day there's risk. Oh, so then slowly, improvement. Slowly, you make improvement. Slowly. Not right away, slow. Okay? So you read this, all the foundation of good qualities. Don't believe that you will achieve 100% satisfaction doing this, doing that, looking, smelling, touching, eating. Does that mean don't do any of this, any of that? No, absolutely not. Do, but at the same time, beware. It's not reliable. If you put all your happiness on the one piece of object, is that reliable? No. Why? Because that object will change. That's why it's not reliable. Samsaric goods are not 100% reliable. Meditative experience, that's reliable. That's something that you have, you build, you develop, you work hard to gain meditative experience. That is reliable. Other than that, idemiru sibe puzo means samsaric goodness. It's not 100% reliable. Does that mean don't enjoy? No. That's misunderstanding. Enjoy, but 100% relying your well-being on that is probably a mistake. It's a mistake. What do you say? Let's become more practical. It's not nothing to do with religions. Is that smart way to do? Putting 100% of your well-being on certain things. So there's something to be aware in day-to-day life. Instead of your own well-being, something to be aware, making yourself less vulnerable. Otherwise, we become so sensitive. There's very little control that you have over the things. You may work so hard to gain the control, but it is like it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. That's why you should get enlightened. If you really want to gain some control, you should first get enlightened. Then everything becomes like putting something on your palm of your hand. You can see very clearly. It's become like that. So maybe then that that's probably you could probably have more wisdom to benefit others. Before it's kind of hard. So so that's the downside. Doesn't mean it's negative, that's the downside. We must remember the downside. We have to be mindful of the downside. That doesn't mean should not do, but it has the downside. When you reach to the downside, don't become shocked. So it is the samsaric goodness has the downside. It's not like from 1 to 10 is all positive. No, there are some downsides because it disappears, it changes, over time it changes, it disappears. Then you can't do much. So accept the fact. Then that is the path that kind of leads you to cessation or liberations. If you have this kind of strong as awareness, that every day is strong awareness. So probably you will enjoy life much more than you used to be because of this knowledge, because of this understanding, deeper understanding. Otherwise, you may end up complaining all the time, not understanding, not being practical, complaining all the time. That's not the probably best way to live your life. Yeah, if you try to complain, there's tons of things you can complain. But that's not the best way to live your life. So that's the downside, not understanding correctly what Lama Tsongkhapa said, not understanding or achieving satisfaction by doing things. That's wrong. Sorry to say, that's not wisdom. That's not wisdom. So then once you find out you are not satisfied, what do you do? We complain. So that's not a way to also, again, that's not a way to satisfy yourself, complaining. But that's what we do. Unfortunately, that's what we do. Why we complain? What we are trying to achieve? What we are hoping to achieve? When we complain, please think about yourself. When we complain, what we are hoping to achieve. That's the point. What we are hoping to achieve. Just please think about that. When we complain, what you are hoping to achieve for betterment of your life. What are you hoping to achieve the well-being of your life when you start to complain? What are you hoping? Please answer. No need to ask other people, ask yourself, what are you hoping to achieve? No, I'm hoping to achieve satisfaction, happiness. Is this the right way to achieve satisfaction? Just talk to yourself. Then once you find out, oh, that's probably not the best way to achieve satisfactions or well-being of my life, then stop. Sake of your own happiness, stop. Because it's not doing anything good for betterment of your life, then need time to stop. Cannot afford to continue because it makes your life more complicated. So then why we do? Why? So we need to rethink, re-educate ourselves. Maybe you are not hoping to see the very person that you are complaining. You are not probably hoping to see that person become more miserable. I don't believe. What do you say? Do we believe that our satisfaction becomes someone else miserable? So all my friends, this is very important. This is before you complain, before we do anything, not just complain, anything, what are you hoping? What are you hoping? What's your hope of the result? What's your hope of the result? So then you may say, oh, this is so then you have to take full responsibilities about your actions. You have to be courage, to brave, to take full responsibility, whether they're your actions positive or negative. And probably you say, I don't know what I'm trying to achieve, but that's what I do. That's not probably might not be the best things to do. Probably you need to rethink, recalculate, or you take full responsibility. Every action has reactions. You need to understand that. That's also not just about religion. Every action is reaction. If you say something nice, people smile. If you say something nasty, people don't smile. That's the reaction of your actions. It's not just about religion. It's not just about Buddhism. It's the fact. It's the fact. When you smile, people smile. When you say some nasty word, people don't appreciate. Nobody say, oh, thank you so much, unless you are Bodhisattva. You are not going to say, oh, thank you so much, you are being so nasty to me. That's like, is it possible, but It's very hard, very hard. Slapping here, showing another cheek, that's not easy. It's not easy. It's possible, it's not that easy. So then you need to take full responsibility. So this is very important. What are you hoping to achieve? Same meditations, mantra recitations, doing any practice. Yeah, we do estimate when you run. You probably have hope to achieve something. That's why you run. Otherwise, you just why like you don't just run because you go out of your mind. You run because you're hoping to achieve something. You exercise, you have hoping to achieve something. Similarly, every action that we do in our life, so we have to have goal. What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to achieve here? This is very important. So that you learn from Lamrim, that's how you strive. That's how you strive for liberations. Because you realize, finally you realize, no matter which direction you turn, always lead to some kind of dissatisfactions. When you achieve moksha, there's no dissatisfactions. There's just only satisfactions. That's how someone strive for seek liberation, because you are so sick of all this uncertainty, up and down, uncertainty, no guarantee, no guarantee. So it's very important to understand there's no guarantee. There is no guarantee. There's no guarantee. Even though somebody say, oh, there's 100% guarantee, oh, probably, no, that's true. No, so probably if they try to sell you something, 100% guarantee, but not guarantee. When you read the review, there's a lot of complaint. So that means those people are not 100% satisfied. So, or to sell something, same, so they're like, yeah, so sometimes you read this like advertisement, it's kind of funny, so the way they put it there, like, yeah, so there's one advertisement about cleaning your house. Why are you cleaning your house? No, there's like, basically they're selling something to clean your house that you don't have to clean because it's kind of a waste of life. Anyway, sometimes the advertisement, they're really smart how they worded things, so to sell something. So I think like sometimes, it's hard for me to memorize what they say, but I get ideas, sometimes same thing like this. Or so then like review, even just doing the review, just reviewing the learning in your mind, you get a lot of benefit. Okay. So like strong desire for liberation it won't take very easily take a place, that you have to understand your own existence from head to toe. You have to understand your existence, clearly understand what's happening. What we do all the time, we do something. We never ask, what are you hoping to achieve? So, if you're hoping to achieve calm mind, peaceful mind, that's not the way to achieve. Not the way to achieve. Then in order to, if that's your goal, calm mind, peaceful mind, if that's your goal, you make sure every day, make sure there's like less disturbing thought. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Besides that, anything else probably is not the right approach, okay? Got it, huh? Oh, sorry, now Linda's raising her hand. Maybe time is over. Thank you very much. There's wonderful questions. And the first question, the second question is more complicated. So and you probably need to debate with someone else, to Q&A, and like that's the debate, how the debate is done. You can ask, or somebody say yes, or samsara will cease conventionally, then you bring counter argument, then it goes on back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. More people is better because the people have different ideas. So then hopefully you will reach some conclusion that everybody will agree. Okay, otherwise it's kind of, there's not much time here to debate. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, all of you. So every Sunday, come here. So, so then see you next Sunday. So Ramana will do dedication. So.
And we'll start with the dedication verses from Master Shantideva's Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, obtain a notion of happiness and joy by virtue of our merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms, the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains, bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may these never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power. May people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. No long life prayers. First for His Holiness. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. No long life prayer. For Sarah J. Kenta Rinpoche Jetsun Losang Dalek. The one who mastered speech at a very young age. The one with great patience, who received the name Avatare. The one with great precision, who spread the teachings of Lama Tsongkhapa and Bliss and Void. Lama, ornament of the yellow hat tradition, please remain until samsara ends, along with prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You uphold the subduers more away, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior for myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And 7 green Tara mantras for Geshe Gelik and Geshe Sangpo's long, happy, healthy lives. Om Tare Tu Re So Ha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re So Ha.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday. So Domasi, like here, like official hour of the class on Sunday is 1 hour. 1 hour. After that, if people want to stay longer, so that means you don't have to stay long, but hour is like 1 hour class. I was wondering if anybody wants to do Vajrasattva practice, medicine Buddha practice together. So I am more than happy to lead those meditations. And after when the official hour is over, if anybody wants to stay longer, if you want to do maybe one time Vajrasattva practice, one time medicine Buddha practice together. So I will just guide it, the meditations. We just do meditation together. I will do guided meditations. So anybody want to but it's not mandatory. Only if you are interested, I'm more happy to lead those meditations after like 11:30, the official class is finished. After that, maybe take 5-minute breaks if you want to come back. So more than happy to lead those meditations. Okay, Tara meditations, Buddhism Buddha guided meditations, like what is the guided meditation, or maybe sometime to teach you how to do the refuge prayer, refugee, taking refuge with the meditations, some kind of visualization meditations. I'm more than happy to lead those meditations. Okay. Well, thank you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Thanks,
Thank you,
Lamala.
Geshe-la.
And please
Bye.
teach
Thank you very
longer
much,
in
Geshe-la.
meditations. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
DJ.